Snow does not scream when it kills, it falls quietly, patient. By morning, the world forgets what it covered. On a forgotten platform, a child waited to disappear, and the last man anyone expected stopped. Platform lights buzzed like they were tired of being on. Snow gathered along the tracks, filling the spaces between steel and silence. Trains still came and went, but fewer people waited now. It was after midnight, the hour when even hope checks the clock. At the far end of the platform, beyond the vending machines that no longer worked, a bench sat half buried in snow. On it lay a child, small, curled inward, like the cold had taught her how to fold herself smaller. Her name was never written anywhere, not on her coat, not in any pocket. Only a piece of torn cardboard rested beside her knee. 3 words, uneven and dark with marker. No one's child. Her shoes were gone. Her socks were wet and stiff. Her fingers trembled in short, sharp movements, like her body was tapping out a message no one could hear. She wasn't sleeping. She knew better than that. Sleep was dangerous when it was this cold. Footsteps passed. One set slowed. A man glanced down, hesitated, then kept walking. A woman pulled her scarf tighter and looked straight ahead. Someone muttered, "Not my problem," under their breath like a prayer. The girl stared at the sky. Snowflakes landed on her eyelashes and melted there. She didn't cry. Crying wasted heat. She listened. She always listened. Her name had been Emma Clark **** once. That name belonged to a warmer time, a time with cereal bowls and cartoon mornings and a mother who sang while brushing her hair. Her mother, Rachel, had tried. Everyone who knew her said that. Tried jobs that didn't last. Tried men who promised help and delivered silence. Tried staying clean. Tried leaving. Tried coming back. Emma learned early how to read rooms, how to tell when the fridge would be empty before anyone said it, how to pack her backpack quietly when voices turned sharp, how to stand very still when anger entered the air. There were nights they slept in cars, nights in shelters where the lights never went fully dark, nights where Emma counted ceiling stains like stars. Then there was Mark ***. Mark had hands that slammed doors and a voice that filled spaces. He didn't like Emma, didn't like the way children needed things. One night, after words turned into shouting, Rachel made a choice she would never get to undo. She left Emma at the station, said she'd be back in 10 minutes, said to wait on the bench, said not to talk to anyone. Emma waited. Minutes stretched into hours. Snow started falling. Rachel never came back. At some point, someone left the cardboard sign. Emma didn't know who. The motorcycle engine cut through the night like a growl. It echoed off the station walls before dying into silence. Snow settled on black leather and chrome. The man who dismounted moved slowly, not because he was unsure, because he didn't rush toward anything anymore. His name was *Jack Mercer ***, 48 years old, Hell's Angels patch stitched across his back, the kind of man parents warned their kids about without knowing why. Jack had spent most of his life being looked at sideways. People crossed streets when they saw him coming. Clerks watched his hands. Cops memorized his face. He was used to it. What he wasn't used to was the bench. He stopped when he saw it. Stopped like the world had shifted slightly off balance. His eyes moved from the cardboard sign to the bare feet, from the thin jacket to the way the child's chest barely rose. He didn't touch her, not yet. He looked around first. Cameras, people, distance. He knew how this looked. A biker, a child, alone. Jack removed his gloves and knelt anyway. Cold soaked into his knees. He didn't care. He read the sign again. No one's child. His jaw tightened. He'd worn labels his whole life. Criminal, monster, lost cause, but this one felt heavier. Emma felt the change before she heard it. The air shifted. Snow stopped landing on her face. Someone was close. Her body went rigid. Muscles locked the way they had been trained to. Don't move, don't speak, don't look. The man smelled like oil and cold wind, leather and something warm underneath. He breathed slow, careful. Jack held his hand inches from her shoulder. He knew the rules too. He knew how fast things could go wrong. Behind him, the station door opened. A security guard stepped out, coffee in hand. He froze when he saw Jack kneeling there. His eyes went to the patch, then to the child. For a moment, no one moved. Then the guard turned around and went back inside. The door shut. Jack swallowed. Emma's lips were turning blue. He could see it now. She was running out of time. 5 seconds. That was all he gave himself. 5 seconds to decide whether he would be the man people expected or the man this moment demanded. He reached forward and placed his jacket over her shoulders. Gently, like she was something fragile. Emma flinched. Jack spoke low and steady. "Hey, kid, I'm not here to hurt you." Her eyes opened. They were tired, but still watching. Emma didn't trust words. Words had left her here. But his voice didn't rush. It didn't demand. It waited. Jack shrugged out of his jacket fully and wrapped it around her small frame. It swallowed her, leather heavier than any blanket she'd ever had. She shook harder now, her body fighting to come back. "I know you're scared," he said. "That makes sense." She watched his mouth. The way his hands stayed where she could see them. The way he didn't crowd her. He glanced at the sign again. His throat tightened. "No one's child," he read aloud. Something broke in his face. He reached down, picked up the cardboard, and snapped it in half, then again, until it was just trash. Emma gasped softly. Jack looked at her. "No," he said. His voice was rough now. "That's not true." He met her eyes fully. "You're mine now." The word surprised even him. Emma searched his face for the lie, for the trick. She didn't find it. She didn't smile, but she leaned forward just a little, and that was enough. Jack scooped her up, jacket and all, and stood. Snow creaked beneath his boots as he walked toward the light. For the first time that night, Emma stopped listening for footsteps. The motorcycle stayed parked. Jack didn't even consider it. He carried Emma to his truck instead, settling her carefully on the passenger seat. He cranked the heat until the vents screamed. Emma curled inward, clutching the jacket like it might disappear. Jack drove with both hands on the wheel. Slow, focused, like the road mattered more than anything else in the world. They didn't talk. Streetlights passed in long blurs. Snow hit the windshield and vanished. At a red light, Emma finally whispered, "Are you real?" Jack glanced at her. Her face was still pale, eyes too big. "I think so," he said. She nodded. That was enough. At the hospital, nurses moved fast. Questions came sharp and loud. Jack answered what he could. Name unknown, found at the station, hypothermia setting in. A police officer arrived, looked at Jack, looked at the patches folded over his arm. Jack didn't argue, didn't posture. "I'm not leaving," he said simply. Hours passed. Emma slept under warmed blankets. Machines beeped softly. Jack sat in the chair beside her bed and watched her breathe. Every rise and fall felt like a gift he hadn't earned. Outside, snow kept falling. Inside, something else began. Jack had never planned to raise a child. He hadn't planned most of his life. It had just happened. He'd joined the club at 19, broken home, no father. Anger looking for somewhere to land. The road had given him rules. Loyalty, brotherhood, a place to stand, but it had taken too much too. He'd buried friends, lost years, learned how fast people decide who you are. He had one daughter once, a long time ago, born during a stretch when he was never home. Her mother left before the girl turned 3. Jack hadn't fought hard enough. That truth lived in him like a bruise. When social services came, they were polite but distant. Temporary placement, background checks, questions that hovered. Jack answered them all. Days turned into weeks. Emma stayed quiet, watched everything. She slept with the lights on, flinched at sudden sounds, didn't ask for food even when hungry. Jack learned how to cook simple things. Eggs, soup, toast cut into squares. At night, he sat outside her room until she fell asleep. One evening, she padded into the living room holding his jacket. "Can I keep this?" she asked. Jack nodded. "Yeah," he said. "It's yours." She smiled for the first time. Trouble doesn't always knock. Sometimes it just shows up. Rachel Clark had been found in another state, alive, barely, rehab forms, court notices, regret written into every line. When the letter came, Jack read it twice before folding it carefully. Emma was drawing at the table. Houses, always houses, doors colored red. "Someone from your old life wants to talk," Jack said gently. Emma's hand stilled. "Am I going back?" she asked. Jack didn't answer right away. "I don't know," he said honestly, "but I'm not disappearing." The custody battle was quiet, painful. Social workers asked about the club, about his past, about his temper. Jack told the truth. Emma testified too, in her own small way. She said he stayed. That mattered. Rachel watched from across the room, tears falling silently. She didn't fight. She just nodded when the decision came. Emma would stay with Jack. Rachel whispered, "I'm sorry," as they passed. Emma didn't respond. Some apologies come too late. School was hard at first. Kids asked questions. Parents stared. Jack walked Emma to the door every morning. Leather jacket, gray beard, gentle hand on her shoulder. One day a boy shoved her, called her names. Jack didn't raise his voice. He knelt in front of the principal's desk instead. "My daughter deserves safety," he said. The word daughter asterisk felt right. Over time, people softened. They saw Jack packing lunches, sitting through recitals, crying quietly in the back row. The patches stayed on his jacket, but they stopped defining him. Emma grew, laughed, learned to ride a bike, learned that raised voices didn't always mean danger. One winter night, years later, snow fell just as thick. Emma stood at the station platform beside Jack. "Why did you stop?" she asked. Jack smiled faintly. "Because I remembered what it feels like to be left."